I don't I make announcements about going live all the time. And the reason why I record a lot of my stuff, so you can check it out later. But if you are a subscriber, you would have gotten a notification that I am live. And, I'm okay with an audience, but I don't really need one. uh, Purpose of this live broadcast is to do a live book review. And the book I'm speaking of is my Stained Glass Patterns of Love book with the coil bound. This one's available from my publisher. I'll put a link below the video if you want to visit my publisher and get this coil bound version. And I also have the standard bound version on Amazon, so you can check them out too. The link will be below. But this is my latest book. I'm working on another book, Emerald Expressions, and that's going to be out soon, hopefully. But this one is my latest, Stained Glass Patterns of Love. This book contains, over 60 patterns to create heartfelt stained glass projects. And, like anything, you can scan them, resize them, do what you want to do. It's pretty easy to do. I showed how to take a picture, actually scan a page of a book with your iPhone, and you can print it. You scan it, it's a perfect scanning. You just kind of hold your phone up in such a certain way, and you could do it with your Notes app or Pages app or Preview app. But anyway, back to the book. I dedicated this book to my wife, Michelle, and this is the pattern. It's named Michelle, and I signed this book. And what I'm going to do is at the end of the video, I'm going to give it a day or two. Any comments on this video, you're going to go into a random picker, to select from all the comments. And I'm going to pick somebody and send you this book. This is the first edition. It's signed copy. I signed it last month. And I wrote a 5. It's like, wait a minute, it's 26. But yeah, all the comments, I'm going to go ahead and do a random pick. And I'm going to give it a day or two, so there's a few comments, added up, to be fair. And let's go through the book. I did my Celtic Heart and Crown. This is like a showcase pattern for me. It's one that was been very popular over the years, and everybody loves Celtic. I mean, I do too. I just love the way it flows, and this was they call it like a trefoil design, Celtic knot. And what I did is I created it and I interwove it with a heart, which is unique to me. That's my design. And then I added the crown on top. So this is a very unique pattern to my history of making patterns. And I just felt it appropriate just to put it inside the first page, just as a showcase pattern. And it's inside the book as well in pattern format. Here's Michelle, 7x6, all numbered. And as well, anybody who purchases the book, and you need copies, black and white, without numbers, just let me know. I'll send them to you. Because some people use the plotters and they want to use a digital version. Actually, this whole book is in my cloud on my server. So if you just reach out, and if you're one of my members on my YouTube channel, you have access to my cloud with all the patterns. I mean, both numbered, JPEG, unnumbered, PDFs, a lot. There's a lot there. So if you are a member, you would have that access already. And if you're not a member, $2.99 gets you membership a month, and it's really cheap. Besides this book, there's a lot more there. So if you're not a member, and you could just try it for a month, and if you don't like it, you're gonna like it. There's so much there. But yeah. So if you want the full book file, the manuscript, it's in the members cloud, right? All right, back to the book. I'm sorry, I had to say that because I don't know if a lot of people are aware of that. See, I got two people here. I got my camera, my phone in front of me so I could see the chat. I tried doing it with the TV, but I had to keep looking up. I said, you know what? Let me just look at what I'm doing. This is new to me, guys. I like the idea of going live because I can record it and I could take highlights, snippets from it. Let's get back. Sunflower heart. This one, the sunflower is very popular, and it's not so much from the Ukraine deal, but Ukraine really put that into the spotlight, and a lot of people have very emotional feelings about Ukraine, and the sunflower is a symbol, very synonymous for Ukraine, and that's what inspired this pattern. It's non-political. This is just an inspiration type pattern, and I felt it was very appropriate, to make it, because a lot of people were doing that. So it's not a political statement. It's just the sunflower with the heart. The idea was it was for the love of Ukraine. That was the hidden symbolism. So let's see. I'm going to keep checking. Oh, 3 people on. Okay. And the beauty of being subscribed, you get updates. You say, hey, Gary's live. And I'm not big into scheduling, so please don't ask. I'm going to try. If I have something really big I want to talk about, like a product review, I'll make a couple hours heads up. But I wanted to get this book review. All right, sunflower heart. And we got the butterfly hearts. This one is actually cute. I liked it because you could see throughout the design, you got hearts, interwoven into the wings of this butterfly. It's a little different. And again, it has the copper wire overlay. Very simple to do. I've seen these made up by a couple of folks, and they did a really nice job. And he got the gnomes, right? Everybody loves the gnomes. And sunflower has been around a long time in country decor, especially love the heart. Oh, okay. You know what? I love sunflowers. I love the birds. Love them. I love seeing them. They're so pretty. You got to feel the sunflowers. I mean, who could not like it? It's a beautiful flower. And then, they're easy to grow. They're like weeds. But, yeah. The Valentine note. Thanks for that information. I don't know. You guys, you probably know more than me. I know, whatever, the symbolism with Ukraine is there with the sunflowers. All right, Valentine gnome. That speaks for itself. I mean, you could look at this as a broken heart, like he's apologizing, they give it to you, honey, guys to the gals, or just, gals for gifts. It's kind of cute. It's different. And, there it is. It's got a solder blob in the middle of the daisy. It's kind of its own thing. Now, with the feet, what you want to do is make sure you get enough solder in the hinge point areas, or put wire around the whole thing. I would recommend spend 10, 15 minutes, put wire around the whole piece, and then be done with it. And the best way to do that. Oh, and this book also has the colorized, images, which is new for my books. And the olive branch with Building Bridges, the title of that pattern. This was done for a group of folks that were unfairly targeting me last summer. And I said, you know what? I'm not that guy. Here you go. I'm going to prove it. Building bridges, very appropriately titled. I was sending out an olive branch. That means like peace. I mean, come on, let's get along. Stop unfairly targeting me. And you know what? Out of the goodness of my integrity, I said, you know what? Here's a pattern to show I'm not that guy. They're making me out to be a monster. That's how this pattern came around. So there's a story. It's an olive branch. And excuse me, if you're aware of that situation, you'll know what I'm talking about. But it was ugly. I was being attacked very unfairly. And I'm not that person. You know, it could make me to be a monster. I'm not. And it hurt me financially, emotionally. I was depressed for a very long time. And anyway, that's how that pattern. Celtic clatter. There's really no clatter here. I just called it that because it's a different spin on that first heart and crown I did. So I said, you know what, let me just give it a different spin kind of name. It's formatted slightly different, but it's a nice pattern. It's very popular, actually. And then Freedom Heart. This is an old pattern. This one goes back to 2000, during the 9/11 days. Everybody was inspired to make patriotic hearts. And I said, you know what, let's just do a theme and call it Freedom Heart. It's like, everybody, let's just be free, be patriotic. And, as I said, I called it. Made it very simple, irregular shape. Made it so the star, you can cut it easily enough. And that's the story of that pattern. Now here we have the Celtic mandala, the heart mandala. It's got all the hearts, the 4 hearts, with the Celtic love knot. I call it the chained heart. It's this actual pattern. Now this is designed for actually taking a photo with your phone or putting it on a printing, to enlarge it. To do it this size would be crazy. But I just included it. I mean, you can, if you want, you technically can. It'd be a lot of small pieces, not too difficult. So it can be done. But if you made this showing 8 by 8, if you made it 12 by 12, say, you blow it up at a printing shop or something, it would really work out well. So, but I included it in the book for that option. And here's the Victorian heart. It's another very popular design. It's basically a simple lifting type Victorian design in a heart and with a jewel. I love Victorian. Victorian is pretty much the trademark was stained glass. Victorian was it's always been there. So it's just a nice layout. It's a simple layout and very popular, by the way. And then the Sacred Heart, this Sacred Heart of Jesus, and this is a very common theme with the heart and the cross, and then the scar, and the the crown of thorns, this here, the crown of thorns. But this is important to put on it. It's all part of the design. And I don't really do a lot of religious type designs, but this is one I really felt I needed to go out and do. And, I want to point something out. If you're doing these kind of patterns, you say, well, we got a little heaviness here and there. Just run right down the middle. When you're cutting the pattern, just run it right down the middle. This is just to kind of show where spacing is appropriate. Like in the middle here, if you have a little bit of spacing here, that's fine. You want to remove that area. What that does, it gives the pattern depth. All right, and then, areas like this is a wire overlay. So you're gonna need a little bit of ingenuity and creativity when you make this pattern. But here's the basic. If you cut all the numbers out, lay them out, and get creative with your wiring, even here a little extra wire or a solder blob here, follow the design. And it is actually a nice design. And I've seen a few made. They came out really well. And this is my son, Chris's heart. I know I didn't spell it right. It should have a little, what was it, ampersand? What are they called? Those little, after the S. But Chris heart. He's like, Dad, I could draw patterns. I go, okay, Chris, have at it. Look, he drew that. I was like, I took his drawing exactly, and I've digitized it. And I'm really proud of him. Yeah, designed by Christopher Son, my son. And he did a nice job. Let's see, I'm going to keep following the chats. I got 3 people on. That's fine. I just want to, if a chat does come up, I want to answer it. Yeah, so Chris he's got a little talent, that one. And then the simple heart hanger. You get the hanger series. You could hang embellishments, with wires, and it's like an overlapping, and it's very simple. Easy beginner pattern. And then we have the lotus heart. And this the lotus is a very popular theme in stained glass. So I figured, well, make a lotus heart. Yeah. And then again, with this, when you cut the pattern, just follow the lines. When you do detail like this, say the flower, cut that out, and then these heavy lines should never be an issue for somebody, especially if you're cutting with pattern shears. You run the shears right down the middle. It shouldn't be an issue. I try to clean them up as best I can. I think I got a page stuck here. Here we go. All right. And then the Dreamcatcher heart. This is 2 different versions. One showing with the feathers embedded into the design of the heart. And then here showing where you can use the feathers and the jewel, glass glob, whatever you want, and overlay it. So it kind of, be up front. That's just an option. You could do that with this too. You can just kind of fill in, but it's right here for you. So that's that pattern. Celtic heart teardrop. Gotta have a Celtic heart teardrop. What can I say? Again, another very popular pattern. I've seen a lot of these made. Folks, they love the teardrops. They love the Celtic. They love everything about it. This pattern here, no matter what color theme you use, is a perfect window accent type pattern. And an easy gift. That's another thing. I try to keep things easy for everybody. I really do. I don't want to go too crazy. I got 4 people on. See, I'm watching the phone. All right, Heart on Fire. Yeah. There's a song. I'm not going to sing it. Heart. No, I'm not going to sing it. You're not going to get me to sing it. Yeah, this one came together really nice. Actually worked well with the point. This is always a design. Whenever you're doing a heart, this is a design challenge with the point. Because you can cut that, but you always have to work in some type of connection area, and the flames work perfectly. I've seen this one made up as well, and it's really pretty. But yeah, Heart on Fire. What can I say? All right, here's a easy Valentine's heart. This is actually a very old pattern. It probably goes back to the early 90s. I made for my mom. A very clean design, well balanced. It's another, I'd say this leans more toward Edwardian style than Victorian, but you could call it Victorian. But what's nice, it has the overlapping feature of this ribbon here, and then depth. You can leave the center open, with no glass, so you can make that a piece of glass, however. And the same here for the vintage. Yeah, I call it vintage because it's vintage. It's from, it got to be the 80s. And this one, again, it literally is 4 pieces of glass. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you hang the jewel. You solder your jewel, copper foil, and you just hang it right there. So this would be open, 4 pieces plus a jewel. And that's how that works. It's actually, if you have these, done up, hanging in a craft show, or, they sell really well. And for 4 pieces and a jewel, you can charge a very reasonable price for them. So I made 2 different versions. I made a wide and then a more of a narrow. Sorry, hit the camera. I'm going to include the original Lulu, my book publisher, shipping label here in the book. So it's going to be signed, and that's going to be included. So this is the first edition with the date and all that. So anyway, back to the patterns. Tulip in a heart. This is another vintage design I did for my Pattern of the Month Club. I ran that back in the, years are escaping my brain right now. I'd say 96, 97, 98, 99, throughout those years, the latter part of the 90s. And this was in a series of those patterns, for February of, say, 97. I forget the actual date. But I digitized it, I cleaned it up, and it's in the book. And the same thing with the iris. We had the iris as a pattern in the Pattern of the Month Club. This is the same design. I didn't change anything. And I could have, made adjustments, but I wanted to keep the original pattern and put it in the heart. And there it is. This is a little bit more of a challenge, but honestly, the small pieces are not that bad. If you want to just use a 3/16 copper foil on the very small pieces, you can do that. When this is done and completed, it's really pretty. It's a knockout. So, if you've tried to do it, well, thank you, number one. And number two, you know it's beautiful. And as well, you could scan it and blow it up. You can make it 10 inches wide, which would be nice too. Very nice central window. And here we have, here's a taller iris. We made the same iris and it just kind of shrunk it up a little bit for more of a balanced look. And that's the same thing. You could blow it up, do what you want to do. But it's in the book. A lot of folks don't have the ability to kind of blow things up, but you bring it to the, Staples and what have you, Office Max, FedEx. You just blow this up to, tabloid size, 11.5 by 17 print. 11.5, you have plenty for 10 inches wide. You can do that. And being, the coil bound, it's easy. Just open it up, put it on the scanner and go. And okay, next one, Edwardian heart pendant. This is the pendant series. It has, it looks like a pendant, and I have no rhyme or reason to call it that other than it looks like a pendant. But I had to do Edwardian. I'm a big fan of Edwardian. Edwardian is pretty much Old English style. I'd say not Old English, but early 20th century. Throughout the earlier parts, up into the 20s and 30s, Edwardian was a very popular stained glass design concept. It still is today, but if you look at Old English townhomes, and you see a lot of Edwardians. It's pretty much very simple, say simple, but elegantly simple. And there's a lot of, this stretching of a design. So that's why I call it the Edwardian. And there's no rhyme or reason to the balance. These are not the same, and that's intentional. But just to give it that Edwardian look. All right, and here we go, another Edwardian. Oh, just a little bit bigger. Okay, I just made it a little bit bigger. Which, this done up in this size will look really nice. And then we have our fleur-de-lis. Fleur-de-lis heart. It speaks for itself. The fleur-de-lis is a very popular design in, Louisiana, obviously, and the French style, the fleur-de-lis is, it's attractive. Let's be honest, it's just attractive. So I had to put it in a heart. So here we go. There's a few challenge cuts in here, but nothing impossible. Nothing impossible. And here we have my forever heart. It's kind of like a spin on the word forever, because it seems like it's going on forever. It's a heart over a heart over a heart over a heart. So, looking at it, so that's why I called it my forever heart. It's different. I've seen it made up. They came out really nice. They don't have to be the same color. You can kind of mix and match. And then, we have the Gaelic heart. The Gaelic, that's more of a Scottish background. It's Northern Ireland, Scotland. And you see a lot of, it has the same type of, the woven look as you see in Celtic. But it's more Gaelic. There's a lot more points and, sharpness to it. So that's why I call this one the Gaelic heart. It's different and it's easy to do. Try that one. And we have the Goth heart. This is for our dark friends. I don't know. I just said, you know what? I need something. It was around Halloween. I was doing wings and bats and kind of going gothy with stuff. It's very, has like a Dracula appeal to it. With just the way it's laid out. I see, this perfect. It's a goth style heart. I mean, you could be goth and still have love. It's dark love, but hey, it's love nonetheless. So here's the Goth heart. And I showed it with the deep teal and the purple and the grays and the silvers. So it's actually pretty nice. Oh yeah, and here's the Celtic heart and crown. I put it in a full page here, and it's very, very popular. Over the years, very, very popular. I just want to point out, these little filled-in areas are filled-in areas. So when you cut the pattern, toss that little chip. Toss it. That's completely intentional. So it's not a mistake. I do that quite often. You'll see, not all the time, but quite often with my design, my artwork. And here we have the chained Celtic heart. This another one. It's really not too popular. I don't see a lot of people doing it, but with the ones that they have done, came out really nice. And I'm suspecting that it has to do with tiny pieces and challenge cuts. But I have seen a few done it, and they actually are very nice. And this has the Celtic infinity, or the infinity knot, with the Celtic crisscross and knot effect, and then the chained heart. So it's a very symbolic pattern. It's like, folks that are Irish, you got me. What can I say? My chained heart. And I like doing this one because it had a lot of symbolism in it. Forever, chaining, the lock. This is very sturdy looking. not going anywhere, and it has a Celtic overtones. So this one, actually, I had a lot of fun designing it. Edwardian heart. Yeah, you see the Macintosh rose is very popular in Edwardian style windows. So I did that, and Edwardian heart with the Macintosh rose. It's a simple. Yeah, this is actually the trefoil design in the Macintosh. That's actually Celtic, believe it or not. It has Celtic roots to it, due to the natural they call it a trefoil, patterns of three. You see some of the designs that I want to do one, actually I haven't done one yet, with three fish in a trefoil. And I do have other trefoil type designs, but not specific like that. But that's where that Macintosh rose comes from. And we have the heart. Someone requested a pattern for their heart bevel. Excuse me. I still have a little cold. I just can't shake it. Heart bevel hanger. This is actually a beveled glass heart. I had to take the image of the bevel to make this pattern because they don't change. That's the bevel you get. And it's true to size, and it's just showing how it's laid out. You cut three pieces, use the bevel, a little wire overlay, which these are available from Amazon, or you can make your own and hang a crystal. It doesn't have to be Swarovski, it can be plastic, but that's that. I thought it was kind of nice. And the moon and the stars. I did this one, and well, actually, this was the second one I think I did, because the first one, I did this one first, but then I immediately was criticized, saying, you can't have a star inside the moon, the crest. I said, yeah, but it's a design. It's the surrealism of it. I mean, I know you can't have a star in front of the moon. You can't. But that was I kind of got mimicked over that. Not mimicked, but beat up a little bit. So I said, all right, well, here you go. Here's your moon with the star. That's how that came about. But I like it. I like this layout, the balance of the pattern. So, actually, this is Moon and Stars 1, not 2. And then the heart spinner. I've seen these made up. They're really pretty. You got the 4-inch pattern. You times 6 of each pattern. There's 6 panels. That'll make an 8-inch spinner. And then you have the 5-inch for a 10-inch spinner. And these hang up, like this. This would be the hanging point. It's very sturdy. It goes right to the vortex area, the central vortex. So there's no risk of this spinner having issues with stability. And, done up. This is just showing how it looks when the pieces are together. But in a 6-panel spinner, this is a real winner for any season, really. And the heart and bow. This is probably my first pattern I've ever made for my mom years ago. Well, she wanted a Valentine's. I want an easy heart. I said, all right, well, yeah, put a bow on it. Okay. So that's where that came from. So mom inspired, Gary drawn, and probably one of my first true stained glass patterns. Believe that. It's a history right there. This goes back early 80s, I'd say 1979, 1980. Okay, and then the heart pendant lamp. This pattern is actually a really nice lamp design. It's gonna be a mini base, a little 10-inch base here. I'd say no bigger than 12. They call them mini bases. And this one here is a 7-inch lamp. Now, if you blow this up to 10-inch, you can do that. You can put it on in a print shop, blow it up to 10 inches wide. So you measure this point to that point, or 8, and make it a larger size and put it on a bigger base. See, what you do is you make the lamp first, what size you want, 8, 7, 8, 10. Then once it's done, then you go shop for your bases. And for a 10-inch lamp, I'd say a 12 to 14-inch base would be perfect. Maybe 6, you can go up to 16, depending on how it's hung, and the hardware is set up inside. You don't want it to look too light on top. And then you have the threaded tubes. You can raise and lower the lamp and make those adjustments. But for the small lamp, these kind of pendant lamps, you want to go with the mini bases. They're typically like 10 inches tall. And then you could also, you can use it with a vase cap, which kind of just slips over the top. This part of the vase cap, the lip comes right over the top here. And then you solder it from the inside, flip everything over, and solder a good connection on the inside of the cap. This can also be used as a swag lamp, where you hang it from the ceiling just as a little pendant lamp. You can put 1 in the corner or 3 over an island, in a kitchen. Look very pretty. You don't have to make it red hearts. You can use different textures and color combinations, or all clear if you want, and it look really good over an island in a kitchen. 3 of them. They typically have 3 set together. So that's that. It's very simple, clean design. And then with all lamps, you should put an edging on it, like the rebar, not rebar, but the restrip along the bottom, just to give the lamp integrity. And here we're showing an 8-inch version. So you have that 7 and then the 8. And then, I'd say heart and rose hanger. It's just another early pattern of mine. These lines are a little heavy, but again, you just cut out the pattern and just make the connection. In the cloud, there's a cleaned up version, but I should have cleaned this one up a little bit better. But I kind of left it as is because it kind of defines the age of it. This is how the patterns were made. I didn't pay too much attention on the integrity of the lines, the thicknesses. So everybody's got their plotters now, and they're cutting patterns out. This one would have to be cleaned up a little bit for that purpose. But this is designed so you come with pattern shears. Get out your pattern shears and come on in and cut it out. Just use this as a layout. It's a simple roast. And we got the Hearts Mandala hanger. It's a 4-panel, 4 repeat heart with some leaves just to give it a little bit of lifting. There's really no other rhyme or reason for that. That's what that's about. Hearts Mandala. And it's a hanger, designed for a hanger. Be very pretty done up. And you can put 2 loops on it, or just a single one, either way. And then we have the Hearts Mandala in a circle. Again, this can be blown up if you want. And I'm looking now, I forgot to number a few. Look at that. Huh. Wouldn't be the first time. I just noticed that. So here you can, 21, 22, 3, 24, just like 25, 26, 27. That's awkward. You know what? In a perfect world. Let's see, anyone comment on that? Thank you for not. We got the Shamrock heart. You got the heart with the 2 shamrocks. This is a very thin stemming of the shamrock. I think that really does add to this design. So they're just separating the 2 shamrocks, kind of have them over the top. Gives that a little bit more depth to the design. I like this one a lot, and I think it's going to be a good one if you choose to do it. But follow that design there. You don't have to. You can just kind of make it a heart, round it off. But it kind of adds to it. Right? You have the shamrock heart. It's very simple. I show it with all green, but you can make this red or purple. But the solder blob for the center, you cut your patterns and then you take a blob of solder. You can just drop your iron and then put it on the middle and just heat it up on one side just to attach it. It's a really simple, straightforward pattern. And then we have the shamrock heart cluster. You got 3. You got somebody messaged me. The 3 shamrocks. And then open area. You don't have to have open area, but I thought it'd be really nice to do that. It has enough integrity of the design where you don't need glass here. It'll look very pretty if it was done that way. And we have the heart's clover mandala. There's a little bit different spin on the clovers. Looks more like a heart. And again, can be blown up, to any size you want. And you have the shamrock hearts. This is a very popular pattern. You can do it with a jewel or without a jewel, with the blob in the center. So you just cut the pieces out and then put the blob right over the center. You could do that. This show here, preview with no blob. But yeah, that can easily be done. And then we got a honeycomb heart. This one's actually very popular. I've seen this one done with people who use a little brass bee and they soldered a bee on top of it. It's really, really cute. And, popular design, the honeycomb heart. And the endless love hanger. This one, once one person made it and put it online, it really took off. People wanted it. Because this is one of those type of patterns, you have to see it in glass. So, and a hanger. The endless love and the heart, and it's just very easy and symbolic. So, it's a well-balanced design. And a hanger. And then, by request, somebody wanted snowdrops. Well, what the thing, I can get these pages apart. There we go. The thing about snowdrops, you got to have more than one. Here I got 6 of them, and then different size buds and petals. This one is a little daunting as far as the pattern goes, and people have made them, and they came out really nice. But it's another one where you can blow it up a little bit just to make it a little easier to build. But it is a nice design. I kept the outer shape a little irregular just to make it interesting. And here's a preview. If you do a darker background with the white snowdrop petals, it would look really pretty. Okay. Loving bubbles. This one kind of morphed into a pattern. It's just, I did the pattern, it was like the heart with a fringing on it. And then I said, you know what, let me structurally design it a little stronger. So I added these and I said, well, now it looks like a bunch of bubbles. So I called it Loving Bubbles. It's that simple. But, you can do it without the outer edging. You can just do the center. Or you could just do the heart, the 3 pieces. So there are options here. And mother and child heart. And this one, it's you got the large heart and then the small heart, and it symbolizes the mother and the child with the arms reaching out. It's like a surrounding effect. I mean, this pattern, it was torn apart a little bit for reasons I don't know. I didn't see it, but nonetheless, it was. But here it is, mother and child heart. Excuse me. And then the patriotic heart. It's a stylized star with the stripes. It says patriotic heart. I could have done a regular star, maybe I'll do it. I like this is here. That's in the open. And maybe I'll do that. And then we have the Victorian heart and rose. This is another old pattern. And, it's very Victorian with the spotted jewels and the open cabbage rose with the flipping ribbon on the top. This one done up in this size, it would work, but if you blow it up a little bit, it's a really pretty pattern. And you can do it with the clear textures of clear textures in the background, very muted colors with a little bit of peach plum or rose center, and then the minty greens. This one would be really pretty. So if you're into Victorian, that one's for you. And then Eternal Matrimony, this kind of self-explanatory. You got the 2 wedding rings. The cross symbolizes, the marriage recognition with God and Jesus and the church and all that. So, it's a very nice wedding gift. And then the interlocking wedding bands is that eternal part of marriage, the eternal matrimony. It's very easy, straightforward pattern. Another religiously symbolic cross and heart. I took one of my other patterns, superimposed it on a cross, and gave it a circle for structure. This would be weak otherwise. That's why we have our circle. You don't have to put the outer border in. You can just go with that thin border there. Kind of cover that up. That's an option. Or make it one thick border. Get rid of the thin border and make it a thick border. There are different options. Many times you're working with patterns. Your end of the creativity and minor adjustments. I mean, that's all good. I mean, that's what it's about. So this is a good basis to do, that kind of cross and heart. Have at it. I never get offended. People say, I kind of tweaked your pattern. I said, well, no, that's what it's there for. This is your roadmap, and you want to take a different road, have at it. So, and this is just our hearts, just the 2 hearts as a hanger, kind of different colors. It's very pretty. This is new for this year. I think I did it this year I did it. And hang it from the center or hang it here and here. And Teacup Rose, this one's another old pattern. It's vintage, early 90s. It's been made many, many, many times. This one again has the open area here. Be very pretty. You can hang it from here and here. I wouldn't hang it from the center because it's structurally wise. So you want to put a loop here and here. Yeah, it's a vintage. And the pet tag memorial hanger. I just put Rex to show it's a dog tag. You could hang for our little fur buddies, our critters, our loved ones. That the rainbow cluster. I always get emotional looking at this. I can't talk about this pattern, but very easy to do. It's a popular pattern, and if you're an animal lover or dog lover like me, hey, hope you make it through it. Don't look at it too hard. And then we have the swan's heart. Swans in a heart. Now, Chris designed this one too. My son, Chris. I cleaned it up a lot for him. He was very rough with the penciling, but I cleaned it up. I thought it was a really nice pattern. I was very proud of him. He's got this really good eye for making patterns. So I get him back and do some more. But that's another Chris's pattern. All right, and then a simple sunset heart. This pattern, this design should be encapsulated with something with strength, whether it's a twisted wire, which would look really nice. Actually I have one right here. Let me pull it up. You took something like this. You take wire and you just spin it in the drill, and then you edge it with that. It'll eliminate all your issues with that hinging. It's just a concern with these pieces here. You want to build up the edging here. I'll give it a good bead on the side, which should be fine. But the twisted wire, it will not hurt. It will help quite a bit. Just like that. You can go to heavier wire. This is actually, when you solder it down, it becomes pretty sturdy. All right. And then we got the peace hand. That was a request from somebody. It's different, peace. And that's it. And we got the indexing on the back page, and I don't know if there's another page there. Yeah, there is. Oh, it's just blank. This is right. This is just a blank page. Yeah, and this is. I actually have added more patterns, more Valentine patterns, and I may do a revised edition. I don't know yet, but I will include them in the cloud of the new revised pattern. So if you are a member, you'll see those patterns. And as well, if you do buy the book, you go ahead and get in touch with me. I'll give you that access to the cloud. So if you want to get the unnumbered patterns, for plotters and what have you, they're JPEGs and the PDF to download. It'll be there for you. And if you bought this book, I thank you very much. And my publisher has it in the coil-bound version here, whereas on Amazon it's a regular book style. And it's very close in price, but they're you get quite over 60 patterns in the book. And this one, with this live video, I'm going to have it recorded. And I'll leave it a few days, and with all the comments that do show up, and I will make note on my Facebook page. Say, look, just go there and comment, because if you do, you might win this signed copy. All right? And I don't do that often. I think this is my second or third one. So I'm going to take the YouTube video, post it on Facebook, and say, all right, comment below for a chance to win this book in a drawing. All right? And, if you comment now, you can get in on it early. And with that, I'll close this video and say thank you for watching. And thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. It helps my channel out. And if you're not a member, consider being a member. And, I don't get annoyed. If you want to join for 1 month, grab $200-300 worth of patterns and say yes, and take it easy. Hasta mañana. I'm out of here. That's not right. But you could do it. I'm not going to. I mean, people are doing that, and I'm not crazy about it, but it is what it is. So if you're a member, the cloud, you get a lot of patterns. And if you're not a member, consider joining. The $2.99 a month is really, it's incredibly cheap. Plus, it's not so much the patterns. That's my way of saying thank you, but it's supporting my channel that means a lot to me. And just being here during my live broadcast means a lot to me. And commenting, and for me giving away a book, all those things. It really means a lot to me. And I'll just continue doing that. Hey, wish me luck. I got a big snowstorm coming tomorrow. Now they're saying feet. 8 to 10 inches, and now it's like, ooh, Yeah, 12 to 24. I said, you know what? Let me just get some wood for the fireplace. I hope the lights don't go out, which they probably will. And I got the shut-off valve for the water, because what happens here in North Carolina, a lot of our plumbing, it's not underground, it's under the house. So there's no basements either. So the cold wind blows through, those pipes freeze and they break and water goes everywhere. So before that even gets a chance, I got my shut-off thing. I'm going to shut off my water and drain the water and say, hey guys, no water for tonight. And cross the fingers, because it's supposed to get, after the snow, it's supposed to get down to the teens, which that will start freezing and breaking pipes. So we're going to have to just get a couple cases of water and deal with it. And but wish me luck. If I'm still online, I'll give everybody an update. And yeah, thanks for watching my video. Everybody take care. And if you're part of this big weather story we're dealing with, I heard it had a lot to do with the latest, from the sun. It had radiation, these big solar flares, not long ago that were like monumental. And what it did is it actually affected the polar, the magnetic north and south, and this, it's like a big shift to the earth, and that polar vortex was forced down through the continent. I mean, this is what I heard, and it makes sense to me. I think it's going to get snow in Florida. The temperatures in the south were incredibly low, and if anyone else has heard that, about the solar stuff, believe it or not, the radiation caused all this polar whatever, the cold blast and the snowmageddon that we're about to get in the south. With that, everybody have a nice day. I got 5 people on. I'm going to check the chat later. I don't see it on the phone, but maybe I screwed up. I have no idea. What's this? Let's see, hit that. View chat. Let's see. Wait. I don't know why. I think there's something. I did see something pop up earlier, but again, hey, don't forget to comment. Comment on the video if you want to win this book. Trust me, it's a nice book. It's the first edition, and it's signed. I mean, I'm not putting myself on that pedestal, you know what I mean? But it's the first edition signed, and you're going to want it, all right? And I'm going to wrap it up nicely and get it ready to send to some lucky winner. Take care and enjoy your day. Stay safe and warm, and we'll see you next time.